What's up, everybody? This is Dylan. So, Fallout 4 has been out since Tuesday, and I've already got 52 hours into it, even though I work full time, so I'd say that's quite a lot. And I feel comfortable putting out my honest opinions about the game. So, I've compiled a list of pros and cons here, but I'd like to start off by saying overall, I think it's a quality game, and it's solid, it's good. Is it better than Fallout 3? Short answer, yes, it improves upon a lot of things. Same with New Vegas. It's taken a lot of stuff from there, but it's completely different. Like how from Fallout 3 to Fallout New Vegas, they went with the combat to iron sights, and then in this, the combat is even improved more like an FPS from there. Where if you would rather play it as an FPS instead of dealing with all the VATs and stuff like that, I'm sure you could really do that quite easily if you're good at FPS games. But as far as the pros and cons go, I'm going to start off with the cons. And the settlements is the first thing I'd like to talk about. At E3, when Bethesda was announced the game, and they were talking about the settlements, they made a big deal about it, and they presented it as being incredibly awesome. Now, I'm the type of person where in a game like Minecraft, I could sit there and deal with just my house and my animals and my crops and spend 8 hours doing that and not even go mine or anything like that or accomplish any of the other stuff, the meat of the game. I just sit there and focus on my little area and tend to it and whatnot and get lost in it, basically. So when they were announcing this and they were talking about it, I was already invested and hooked. I knew that I was going to get this game. If for nothing else, I was going to be hyped about the settlements. So I tried to kind of calm myself down about that because I knew that Bethesda, while they work on AAA games, like they make games of the year, and they're always quality and solid. You can expect a lot from them. But I knew that this wasn't an area that they were going to have a lot of experience in doing because they've never done anything like this before. Like in Skyrim, you could have houses and stuff like that, but this is actually really large scale, and it's quite a task. So I wouldn't expect it to be perfect, but there's a lot of things that could be more fleshed out with the settlement system. For example, the settlers, I don't know if it's just a problem that I'm having or something like that, but I've watched guides and stuff like that. Other people, I don't seem to know what's going on here. You can't easily tell what settlers are picking what crops and be able to manage them like that. So it would be nice if, like, almost like in Fallout Shelter, the app, where you could tell exactly where your settlers are at and what they're doing as far as tasks within your individual settlements go. But it is a really good settlement system. I think it adds a lot to the game. I use it quite frequently, if nothing else, to just stock up on free supplies and whatnot. But another thing is that you get a whole bunch of settlements, and whereas I'm spending a lot of time messing with one particular settlement, and I got notifications going off that 10 other settlements are having problems, and like I haven't even gone to these settlements and really invested time into them to where I want to make them like something that I want to mess with, and it almost feels like the game's pushing you to do that. I almost wish there was a way that you could have just one settlement that you were messing with instead of everything else and have to feel like you're in charge of 20 different settlements when really I just want to, have my little town that's going on, the main one, the first one that you get. I'm not going to, there's no spoilers. But the second thing I'd like to talk about, and this seems like it's pretty common. I looked it up on forums and things of that nature, and there were fixes that you could do in your documents folders and things of that nature, but I didn't really want to mess with it too much because I, just fear of messing something up or something. I don't think that you should have to mess with the documents folder, honestly, to fix something like this, but when you're lockpicking, the interface doesn't always come up. In fact, it's never come up for me. I can't lockpick anything at all in the game at all. Ever. So that's kind of, there's, like I said, there's a workaround in the documents, and for some reason they haven't patched it out or whatever. I don't know if it has to do with my resolution or my monitor size or something like that. I don't see how that could affect anything because Skyrim lockpicking worked for me. Fallout 3 lockpicking worked for me. Oblivion lockpicking worked for me. I don't understand why lockpicking's not working for me in this. So I think that that's kind of a problem that seems like, again, I don't have experience with development or anything like that, but it seems like it could be fixed with just a simple patch, and it hasn't yet, and the game's been out for almost a week. So, and another thing that might just be, again, a problem with my monitor size, you can see in the video right now, all my icons are perfectly set. My HP bar, the compass on the bottom of the screen, the ammo counter, and the icon at the top for hidden. It's all set on screen nicely. But when I'm in the power armor, for some reason, my hit points monitor is far off to the left off the screen. I can't even see it. And the same with my ability points on the right side of the screen. I can't even see it. I don't know what the problem is there, if there's a way I could fix that, but I don't think, again, that should be something that I should have to fix. It should, like my icons and my bars look nice right now on the screen, they should look nice when I'm in the power armor too by default. The AI pathing seems kind of wonky. You're going to see that here pretty soon. Sometimes, and I have it on the hardest difficulty, I'm playing on survival, the enemies, they're incredibly hard to kill, and the combat's really good. I'll get into that later. But the pathing, sometimes they'll get stuck on things, and it'll end up being, there's a legendary monster that popped up, and it spawned randomly, and it's supposed to be a really incredible fight, and it's hard to kill and all that, and it gets stuck on a tree, and I can just shoot it in the head 50 times, and it's not attacking me. So I don't know. That's kind of weird, I thought. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's not rare to the point where I'd say you're not going to see it if you get the game, because you probably will. And another thing is the mouse acceleration. I didn't see an option to turn it off. I don't know if there is one. Again, maybe I'm just dumb. But mouse acceleration, I hate that in games, and it should be an option in the settings that you can just turn off mouse acceleration, because I have a nice high DPI mouse anyway. I don't need acceleration on my mouse. It just kind of makes my aim wonky. I can play around it. It's okay. It's not game breaking, but the same with I'm having, and I looked this up on the forums too, micro lag. It's not, I got a decent computer, and it's not that I'm getting lag in the game, because it's obviously you wouldn't, because it's not online, and it's not a frame rate issue either. It just seems like my guy has trouble walking sometimes or something. I don't know. He'll skip forward a couple feet at a time. And it's not game breaking. It's never caused me to die or gotten me killed or anything like that. It's just kind of immersion breaking when I'm running around, and then all of a sudden I notice I'm teleporting a foot at a time. Now, that's all the cons, and they're a lot of them are minor. They might be user error, and they can be worked around in the documents, but again, I feel like there's things that should just be patched and fixed. I don't know, though. And then, okay, we're going to get into the pros now. On a positive note, I think that the game is really hard on survival mode. I run into things that one-shot me from full health. I'll get thrown a nuke at me or something, hit with a laser, and I'm dead from full health. And I think that while it sucks to get one-shotted sometimes, it makes it incredibly more fun, because you got to be tactical, think about where you're going. You can't just run around and hit everybody with a baseball bat. Like in Fallout 3, it was pretty easy. I played that on the hardest difficulty too. I just got straight through it, no problems at all. And this thing's actually killed me. You'll see me die here a couple times. It's not easy. It's unforgiving. It's hardcore. I like that. The crafting system is really well fleshed out. With the weapon, there's a large variety of weapons and sights for them, mods, different barrels, stocks. It's amazing. There's so many different, whatever weapon you want to feel comfortable shooting, you can go make it, put it together, and use it. It's definitely fleshed out very well. Same with the cooking and all that. It's a really good system that they got going. The story, I like that it's not a nameless, faceless protagonist that doesn't talk. I really like that it's voiced. It gets me more invested. Some people, that's an opinion. These are all really opinions. But some people like having the faceless protagonist so you can paint yourself onto the character. I like that they have a story because I feel invested. I'm not going to spoil any of it, but I want to progress through the story, basically. I feel you're tied in, and you almost feel like you have to play a good character and not be evil, but I would probably be good on a normal playthrough anyway. I would probably have a separate playthrough if I wanted to be evil, where I wasn't really caring about being canon to the story. But the story's top notch. The power armor segments it's not really, I'm not going to call it power armor segments because you can use power armor whenever you want. You just have to pay attention to your fusion cores. They're great, fantastic. It feels so clunky. You're moving around like it's not. You don't just go around and find a bunch of power armor laying on dead Brotherhood of Steel soldiers. It's fantastic. You can't just be wearing it all the time like in Fallout 3. You gotta conserve it. Think about when you're gonna do it. Sometimes I'll go in with this glowing one here that killed me. I was actually considering, should I go get my power armor to take this glowing one out? Because he's kind of doing a lot of damage to me. And then I figured I could probably handle it on my own, so I didn't. And it's cool that you have that option to think about like that. If you want to go get your power armor or not. If it's worth using fusion cores, or do you want to keep stacking them up and have... Well, right now I'm sitting on 8 of them, and I try never to get in my power armor, even though it's so cool. I only do it when I really have to. And to top it all off, the combat is really smooth. I really I'm like my main character that I'm progressing through right now, trying to get the story done and everything. I haven't completed the story, by the way. He's a gun character, just high perception, high agility, high endurance, and it's great. It's really fleshed out. It feels really smooth. I like FPSs, but I also like the RPG elements, and I like how the gunplay goes in the game and everything. It's really good. So, in closing, is it worth the $60 price tag? I'd say yes, every single penny. I would give it a strong, solid 8.5, possibly 9 out of 10. It'd be great if the settlements were more fleshed out and smoothed around the corners, but what can be expected from that? That's not the kind of games Bethesda's made, and they really actually did a really good job for having zero experience in that field. So I guess that's about all I got to say. Thanks for watching. Peace.